For some certain circumstances, I'm quite lucky to be here still, which is something I've never really shared with anyone.
Explain.
But there's times where that level of loneliness and people getting into you every day, like I say, it just every so often you're like, when will this end? You know, and then that's almost nearly killed me a couple of times.
Y'all, this Liam Payne story just keeps getting darker. And I'm sure most of you already know about the tragic death of the former One Direction star, but trust me, what just came out about his autopsy report has made everything more confusing. The feds have finally revealed the results of his autopsy, and let me tell you, it's creepy. And get this, some sources are saying he could have been saved if more was done. So we all remember when the news broke out about Liam Payne's tragic fall from the hotel balcony in Buenos Aires, but the details were super sketchy. A preliminary autopsy was conducted at the early stage of his death, and the report showed that he suffered multiple traumas when he fell that led to internal and external bleeding. But that's not all. The report has also said that Liam had a mixture of substances in his system at the time of his death, including benzodiazepines, which is a type of depressant, crack, and something called pink cocaine, a substance that has now been linked to Diddy through some wild lawsuits. Now, some of y'all might be wondering, what the heck is pink cocaine? Well, it's not what it sounds like. It's actually a street substance that doesn't always contain actual nose candy. Instead, it's a dangerous cocktail of substances like meth, ketamine, MDMA, and sometimes opioids like fentanyl. And get this, the United Nations has even looked into it because it's become such a problem in certain countries. Every batch is different, which is why it's so dangerous. And according to the autopsy report, Liam may have been using this during his final hours. This pink stuff has been gaining attention ever since it was mentioned in lawsuits against Diddy, where it's being called the Diddy drug. Now, isn't that a twist? So here's when things get even stranger. In addition to the toxicology report, the autopsy revealed that Liam had 25 injuries on his body from the fall. But here's the kicker. There were no signs of a struggle. Authorities are saying that Liam was alone in his hotel room when he fell. Although eyewitnesses and hotel staff had a lot to say about his behavior leading up to the fall, they described him as being aggressive, pacing, and even smashing his own laptop. Like, what's going on with Liam that night? And now, multiple sources are now suggesting that Liam's death could have been prevented. Yep, you heard that right. According to reports, several people saw Liam's erratic behavior before the fall, but nobody stepped in. One source told ABC that the hotel staff had noticed him earlier that night and he was not in good shape, but instead of getting him help, it's been reported that he just carried him back to his room. A user said, "I wish they'd just arrested him when he started acting out and being violent. I wish they hadn't let him just go loose for so long in that state." Now, while authorities are still investigating, rumors are circulating that they're looking into who might have supplied Liam with these substances. Some folks are even suggesting that a local dealer in Buenos Aires could have been involved or one of the hotel staff. The authorities are on the hunt, but as of now, we don't have all the answers. As the story unfolds, some details about Liam's final hours are coming to light. One witness reported that they saw him acting completely out of it, offering $20,000 to some women and rambling about his wealth. Another person staying in the hotel said that they heard him screaming, "I used to be in a boy band, that's why I'm so messed up." We all know Liam had his battles with substance use over the years. He was open about it. He even spoke about struggling with the pressures of fame and the toll it took on his mental health.
So, I mean, I filmed a bunch of these over time and deleted them, but I don't know whether this feels like the right time. I know in my last video I'd mentioned I'd been diagnosed with a couple of conditions. Not to go into too much into detail, but one of them that I have, basically, there's a lot of manic things in my life which you guys saw, but the other side of it, and that kind of feels like when I would lose my sobriety would be within these moments that were super low, and I kind of felt like that today. And since isolating the two things and seeing them separately, like I know what they are now and I can identify them, and luckily, you know, I've got some amazing people around me that kind of look after me, but I'm sure they can see it in me too, that I'm just not really here. Yeah, I just wanted to put this out here anyway, as I know there's probably a few people who have the same thing, maybe don't even know it sometimes, but yeah, just so you know, you're not the only one.
Insiders close to him are saying that these last few months were especially hard because he was facing rejection from everywhere. His label dropped him and scrapped his second album, his manager dropped him as well, and then there is this entire story of Liam's ex-fiance coming out with all those domestic allegations. Right now, Liam's body is still in Argentina while authorities continue their investigation. They want to get to the bottom of what happened that night. Who supplied the substances? Why didn't anyone step in when they saw him spiraling? And ultimately, what led to his tragic fall? As always, we'll keep y'all updated with the latest as more details come out. But for now, it's a heartbreaking end to a life that brought joy to so many people around the world. It just goes to show that you never really know what people are going through behind the scenes. A user said, "Very sad how these stars are so traumatized by their success. Rest in peace." Well, that's it for today's video, y'all. If you made it this far, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you never miss an update. And let me know in the comments, what do y'all think?